What is up, my friends? So we just got to the end of Barry season 3. What a finale. Wow. I mean, this season I felt was different from the other two seasons. It felt very much so more we were getting into the realm of feelings. I feel like we were really seeing different sides of all of these characters we really hadn't seen, and getting down deep and gritty into their souls and really seeing where they are. And I don't think we explored that as much in the previous seasons, so kudos to Bill Hader and everybody working on this show for doing that. But before we get into this season finale, which was insane, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We are on the road to 25,000 subscribers. We're trying to get there before July, which is going to be, I can't even talk, which is going to be Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 2 premiere. So make sure you're subscribed for that. But anyways, Season 3 of Barry has come to an end, and with it, a lot of things to talk about. So, very much so, this episode, we started where we left off. Barry had gotten poisoned, and he had gone to the hospital, and he got better. He did, and he was going to sort of become somebody else. He had a whole epiphany, a whole, dream, near-death experience, whatever you want to call it, where he saw Gene Cousineau, and he also saw Sally there, alongside people he had actually hurt and killed. And so he was very much so thinking, you know what, this isn't the way. I don't want to see these people I care about being here as well. I'm going to change my ways. And he's going to do this. Now, as he's going back to his home, he sees that Sally's there. And now Sally, of course, being pissed off at Natalie for the previous episode, she now wants Barry to enact the revenge he was going to do on somebody else, but this time do it on Natalie, before Barry can tell her, you know what, don't go down this path. It's not a good path. I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be pure in everything that you are. Somebody's behind Barry trying to kill him, and he knocks out Barry, this guy, and then he starts trying to kill Sally. Just as he's about to choke Sally out, she manages to grab a knife and stabs him in the neck, and then beats him profusely with a baseball bat, and the guy is completely dead for sure. Barry wakes up, and he's like, okay, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go home, and if anybody asks, I did this, not you, and we'll handle it from there. She goes home. Barry then goes to bury the body, confront him, and pretty much tell him that why does he do this? What is it all worth? Barry, complete mental breakdown. I think Bill Hader really encompassed well what it really means to have a complete breakdown here. It felt so believable, so realistic, and you just felt in that moment for Barry, as we know everything that's gone in his life and everything, not excusing everything he's done as well, but this is the reason he's doing everything he's done. So we see that Andrew still has some feelings about Barry, especially knowing that Barry's helped him and pretty much is the reason that he's alive after the war and all of that, and just tells him to please stop. So on the other side of things, we have Gene, who is now meeting up with Jim. Jim, of course, now knows that Barry did have something with his daughter's death and wants to really get to the bottom of it. Has Gene and himself have a one-to-one. Gene pretty much breaks down easily and tells him that Barry, of course, did everything he did, and that Jim is trying to get a hold of Barry. Barry's now looking to be on the run, and he and Sally are going to run away, it seems, but no, Sally's just pulling his leg as she's going back to Joplin, Missouri. So could this be Tally's wrap-up story? We'll see. So we then get the phone call between Barry and Jim's like, I need you to come down here and talk about my daughter and her death. Gene's let me know things. Barry calls up Gene, and Gene seems to be going to kill Jim, and Barry's like, no, you're going to stop right there. You're not going to go down this path either. He shows up at Jim's house, where he sees Gene with a gun right outside the house, and Barry's like, you got to stop, you got to leave, you're not about this at all. And Barry goes into the home himself, where he confronts Jim, but right before he can do anything, the police arrive and arrest Barry, and lo and behold, it's a setup. Gene knew this was going to happen, and he had been baiting Barry. He wanted Barry to have the gun to go in there and do what he was going to do. That way he could finally be caught, and pretty much credits roll as Barry is taken into custody. Jim and Gene have pretty much taken down Barry. So where are we here? Okay, actually, you know what? We forgot a very important aspect of what happened tonight as well. NoHo was able to escape, but he was not able to save Cristobal, who was going through electroshock therapy by his wife, and it seems like Cristobal is nothing's up there no more. It looks like the shock thing went too far and his brains are completely fried. So another sad ending as well there. So pretty much I think we could definitely see that NoHo will enact total revenge wherever he is. We could see him go down a slump as well, I think. I don't know what's going to happen with Crystal. It don't look good, though. With Barry, it's going to be interesting because Fuches also did get arrested as well. So are we going to see like Fuches and Barry together in jail in the next season? Or what's the whole deal with that? Do we see Barry escape at all prison? Do we have Andrew somehow come in and help Barry out? Especially knowing and considering that he has this sort of regard towards Barry as well after everything that's happened. Like, how far does Andrew bend for trying to help a friend that was a friend before? Also with Gene, I think that a lot of this is interesting now that his career's on the rise and all. He went ahead and did all of this, like confessing and all of that. And granted, yes, Barry did threaten him in the beginning and all of that, but I felt like we saw Gene sort of be consumed by everything that was happening at him all at once that wasn't happening before, and sort of felt like this was his chance to be big that he'd never had, and he was going to seize it. And I felt like if Jim, like if he didn't cooperate and sort of was the one that was like holding this information, then his career could be over. So I really do think that there's some interesting aspects there for Gene to explore in the next season, which already has been confirmed. Sally leaving to Joplin, Missouri to find herself. I'm assuming she's going back to the roots of it all, and I think that should be interesting to see how that all plays out. But I think that this season finale was insane. Really, really was not expecting that whole turn for Gene, especially when they were outside the house. I really thought that Jim and Gene were going to have a confrontation, but it looks like they were just in cahoots together. Now Barry's going straight to jail. So I don't know what to expect the next season. It should be interesting. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions down below. I think Barry is a changed person. I think that Jim was just going to be the last thing he was going to do. But then again, Barry says this every single time, so we don't even know exactly what the truth is. But let me know your thoughts and your opinions on this. What are you hoping to see in the next season? What was your favorite part about the season finale? And how do you feel about Gene, Barry, Sally, Jim, and NoHo, and everybody else here? Let me know in the comments down below. But as always, that's going to do it for me. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit that notification bell. On the road to 25,000 subscribers, trying to get there before Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 2. But as always, that's going to do it for me. Stay safe, stay positive, my friends.